Do you think the solution is mixing up our first line? Do you think we need to put Velarde on the second or Connor on the second and Velarde on the third? Or like, I don't know. What do you think of all the line changes going on after this game? It seems like we're
Well,
just saying fuck it and like we're hitting the panic button now and we're just like hoping for anything to like, and that never works ever. I mean, we've seen it like 5 years ago with Maurice and Wheeler and stuff. Like we'd be playing decent hockey and then we'd mix up the lines for a game and nobody's got any chem and we just get dominated. It's like, oh, okay, so that's not working. Well, let's mix it up again. And it's like mixing up to see if something clicks for one game and hope that we get lucky when there's like no strategy there whatsoever about how we're orchestrating our lines. Like that never works. And so I guess to answer my own question, that's sort of how I feel about it. But
There's the only like shitty thing about that is that there's implications. Like, I mean, I think it would be an outlandish thing to do, but I mean, in the state we're in, like we kind of need a spark. We sent
yeah,
down like a full line to the Moose, and the Moose are now playing awesome because of it. But like, we'd have to, I don't know exactly what our roster would be at, but we'd probably either have to waiver a forward or two, or we need someone to go to IR. But like, why not bring up Chibrikov, Parker Ford, and Lambert,
yeah,
stick up your second line, give them 7 games, and then let your third line be Nemestikov, Perfetti, Lowry, and then go Taves, Kepke, Pearson, or Taves, Kepke, Barron on the fourth. And
yeah.
then if that young line doesn't do anything, then obviously, change it up again. But I don't know, bring in a spark, bring up some younger players, try Colby Barlow. I saw Salmonson was taken out of the lineup the other day for Shen too, which, yeah, I mean, that's a different conversation, but.
Yeah, because that's the piece we've been missing is Luke Shen. That's going to help us get offense and make our team just so much better. Like, that's exactly what we need right now is that guy back. I don't know. It seems like we're doing everything else except the obvious answer, which is give our young guys some time to play in the lineup. And I don't understand why we won't do it. And I feel like it's so annoying because I want to talk about literally anything else on this podcast, but it's just been such a story for our season this year is like,
I think for Chevy and Arneal, I think it's optics. Like for them, like I mean, again, well, funny enough, we can kind of segue it into that radio segment at NCJOB, but
couple
like
clicks.
what I was listening to when they were on there, it's like everybody's complaining about like the free agent signings and about how Nyquist doesn't have a goal in 100 NHL games, or Pearson has been meh, or Kepke's been meh, which obviously both of them have kind of turned it around the last 2 games. But I mean, for a guy like Chevy, who has done a lot of good things for the team, although doesn't have a great track record of signing guys, like the reason he signed them and gave them 3 million, 1.5 up to 7 million for Taves just to show up to work, which is crazy, but that's another conversation. I think if he either waives those guys, sits those guys to play young guns, that's basically them giving up on the season. I feel like that's the way that they look at it, is that if we're already 30 games into the season sitting the guys that we just signed, then they're giving up. And I don't think I think that they think that's the wrong thing to do and that fans will get upset, but I would disagree.
It makes absolutely no sense because you look at like, I guess these guys are a bit older, but like, Dallas wouldn't have gotten the stud with Wyatt Johnson if they didn't throw him into the lineup. You look at like Seth Jarvis's upbringing. If they didn't put him on the fourth line for 7 games, or
Yeah.
sorry, on the first line for 7 games, then he wouldn't be the player he is. Like, I'm sure they would, the Jets would make the case that like, oh, we've given these guys opportunities and stuff. But again, to keep repeating myself, it's like, yeah, you've given these guys 2 games and then sent them down to the Moose for the next bit. Like, you have to give them more than that and let them get used to NHL hockey and get their footing and their hands like used to the NHL. Like, to go back to your CJOB thing, I've been thinking a lot about that because, like, great question. Well done. Couple clicks for you. I did think it was a good answer though, in that like he said that, our track record has been really good and hitting or missing, like hitting is pretty hard to come by on most draft picks and stuff. But he's like, his main point was like, the guys are there in the next 5 years, like the Jagger and Barlow and Lambert and whoever, like we have all these prospects that in the next 5 years, like these guys will be there. And I sort of disagree with that in that, like, yeah, I guess they will be there, but they won't be nearly as good if we don't give them playing time in the NHL. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how good that team is going to be in 5 years if all they know is AHL hockey. Like, I don't know. I
And
don't
you
really
never
know exactly where I'm going with that, but
you never know. Like Lambert gets pissed off and goes and signs somewhere else in free agency. Like
Yeah.
you never know. Like it's just hard to be like, hey, yeah, in 5 years we're gonna be good. But it's like these guys won't want to play in the minors for 5 years if they think that
Yeah.
they're gonna not play in the NHL
yeah,
in 2 years. Like I don't know.
yeah, no, exactly. Just the thought process, I don't understand what they're thinking over there. I think it's exactly what you said, Graham. It just, that to me makes zero sense. Like,
Well, and
every other team in the league throws, when they get good prospects, they might keep them in the minors for like a year or 2 or 3, but they'll then throw them in the lineup and give them their shot and give them like plenty of time. And then if it doesn't work, that, like, then why are we throwing Logan Stanley in for 50 games of the year and giving him this opportunity and hoping that like, it's the same thing, but we should be doing with these other prospects what we're doing with him. Like, I don't know.
well,
Anyways,
and I think like similar to that answer that Post and Campoy just had, it's like I agree is that like our hits in the first 5, 6 years in the franchise is like unheard of. Like
yeah,
hitting on Morrissey, Connor, Shifley. Like if you want Truba, because he was great for the long time. It's and then like saying now, it's like I don't think that we missed on the prospects. It's hard to draft. Like they'll be good in 5 years. It's like, man, look at like some of the other teams in the league that have drafted really well a while ago, and they're still drafting really well, and their guys are still getting into the NHL and producing. And
yeah,
it seems like that whole run is stopped for us, where it's like with Montreal, they drafted Caulfield, and I was going to say Suzuki, but he was actually a Vegas draft pick and got traded, which was hilarious. I saw a clip of him playing in Vegas the other day, which was the craziest thing ever. But, you think of things like that where it's like they drafted Caulfield, they drafted whatever it is, Arbor Jackeye, and then, now in the
They
last,
didn't draft him.
they didn't draft Jackeye?
No, I'm pretty sure he was just a free agent signing, undrafted free agent. He was
Oh,
working at he was working at Costco before he came into the league.
okay. Well, I know at least they drafted that Florian Jackeye's brother. But
Yeah,
anyway, now they've drafted Lane Hudson recently. They drafted that Oliver Kapanen, who's playing well as a rookie. Or, you look at Dallas, they drafted Rupe Hintz, Jason Robertson, and then in the last few years, they've drafted Wyatt Johnson. They drafted that big Liam Bichelle on defense. Like all these teams are still drafting players, and they're getting into the lineup, and they're heavy, heavy cup contender teams,
exactly. Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. If we want to bring another perspective in, I mean, maybe it's like the Shifley thing, because I know he didn't play for like the first 5 years either. And so maybe we just think like that's the blueprint now for like all of our prospects, is that all of them need to go through the 5 years in the AHL to make it up and like be truly NHL ready. But I think
but look at Perfetti. It's only been 2 or 3 years with Perfetti, and they're
yeah,
trying to push him into that second line, first line power play guy. Why not do
yeah,
that with others?
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't get it, especially at a time like this where we need something, anything, any sort of spark,
Anything that's not the first line.
pretty much. Yeah. Or Cole Koepke.
Or Cole Koepke.